Welcome, traveler, to the Nightmare Realm, a sinister, mysterious dimension deeply intertwined with the dream realm, yet forever divided from it. This shadowy expanse birthed the Grimm Troupe, a peculiar band of performers dedicated to sustaining the nightmare heart, a higher being of immense power that relies on an endless ritual to prolong its existence. The seer hints at the ancient split between these realms. The radiance with her dreams and nightmares, the terror of sleep by the nightmare heart, being sustained by a unique essence. Unlike dream essence, which represents the memories and aspirations of creatures, nightmare or flame essence embodies their fears, burning like a flickering flame. The nightmare heart thrives by feeding on this energy, harvesting it from fallen civilizations like Hallownest. And its survival depends on an unending cycle, the Grimm Troupe's ritual. Within the Howling Cliffs, a mass bug was tasked with finding a fallen kingdom and summoning the Grimm Troupe to Hallownest. But the bug perished before completing its mission. However, dream nailing the bug brings the nightmare lantern into the physical world. Lighting the brazier anchors the troupe to Hallownest and unknowingly binds the night to their ritual. The troupe travels through the nightmare realm, appearing in lands scattered and ruined. In Hallownest, they set up their tents in Dirtmouth, and their eerie presence fills Elderbug with dread. Among the troupe members is Divine, who wears only half a mask. She can smell the fragile charms the knight purchased from Leg Eater and will process them into unbreakable ones for a fee. If the knight has acquired all the unbreakable charms, Leg Eater now smells Divine and wishes to go to her. She then consumes Leg Eater, thanking the knight for her final gift, leaving little trace of him. The troupe's leader, Grimm, is central to the ritual. When the knight lights the nightmare lantern, Grimm tasks members of the troupe with collecting the flames scattered across Hallownest. These flames, carried by the Grimm kin, represent the nightmare essence of the fallen kingdom. Grimm now seeks the knight's aid in the ritual. Using the Grimm child, a charm granted by Grimm, the knight must track and defeat 3 tiers of Grimmkin: novices, masters, and nightmares. Using the Grimm child, the knight can force the Grimmkin to relinquish their flames and give it to the child. Each stage of the Grimm child's growth marks its progression toward becoming the next host of the Nightmare Heart. Grimm himself is a vessel for the Nightmare Heart, and his role is one of sacrifice. After collecting enough flames, the next stage of the ritual would begin. The knight is called to a ritualistic dance with Grimm to prove itself worthy of a starring role. This battle generates the intense energy needed to sustain the heart. The final act of the ritual takes place in the Nightmare Realm. While Grimm is sleeping on the far side of the tent, the knight can use the dream nail and enter the Nightmare Realm, where the knight sees the Nightmare Heart for the first time. And from it, Grimm transforms into the Nightmare King, his most powerful and terrifying form. While still looking like really, really cool. I mean, I think we can all agree on that, right? Anyways, defeating him allows the Grimm child to consume his essence. Its eyes now burn brightly with flames, completing its transformation into the new host of the Nightmare Heart. This process ensures the heart's continued existence, and as the knight awakes, the troupe has vanished like a bad dream. However, the knight has a choice: complete the ritual or aid Brumm, the troupe's accordion-playing bug, in banishing the troupe. Found in Deepnest, far from Grimm's watchful eyes, Brumm talks about the endless cycle and asks for help in breaking it. Destroying the nightmare lantern forces the troupe to leave Hallownest, freeing Brumm from the heart's control. This act reveals his true form, Nim. Shedding his mask severs his connection to the troupe, erasing his memories but granting him a new, carefree existence. He takes refuge in Dartmouth, where he happily plays a different tune. The mask Brumm once wore becomes the carefree melody, a charm gifted to the night by Nim. This charm contains a protective song, radiating flames reminiscent of the troupe's power when activated. Grimm and the performers of the troupe are enslaved to the nightmare heart as it resides within the nightmare realm, and uses the troupe as its agents to perpetuate an endless cycle of death and rebirth, the Grimm ritual. Through this ritual, the Grimm child is fed with nightmare essence collected from fallen civilizations. The father is burned away, and the heart is revitalized, continuing its eternal existence. The troupe exists solely to serve this cycle, bound to the will of the nightmare heart. The mask worn by the troupe members seems to play a critical role in maintaining their connection to the heart. These masks may act as tools of control, brainwashing their wearers and keeping them subservient to the heart's purpose. This might explain the stark transformation of Brumm into Nim once his mask is removed. He loses his memories and identity tied to the troupe, but gains freedom from its influence. Divine's choice to wear only half a mask suggests she remains connected to the troupe, yet resists full control, retaining an element of independence. Despite these measures of control, some bugs, like Brumm, are able to resist and even break free from the troupe's grasp, though doing so severs them from their past life entirely. This contrast between mask and freedom underscores the troupe's philosophy of favoring illusion and projection over truth, further highlighting the oppressive influence of the nightmare heart and the struggle of its followers to reclaim their identities. This section of lore wasn't included in The Knight's Tale because I didn't believe it to play a role in the ending. If the Grimm child was with the knight in the ending, why don't we see it anywhere? Does the Grimm child get trapped inside the Temple of the Black Egg? Or does it get consumed by the Shade Lord, or lost in a sea of void? I believe that this DLC, though it did expand on some things in Hallownest, wasn't completely vital to the full ending of the game. But sometimes having all the answers ruins the mystery. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please remember to like and subscribe or join the membership. And I will see you next time, traveler. This shadowy expanse birthed the welcome, traveler, to the Nightmare Realm, a sinister, mysterious dimension. Being oh no, stop.